Elton jokes again. For my first video, I think this was the perfect time to make this video. I really wanted to do it yesterday, but I'm having some technical difficulties. But um, meaning that the finals are coming up and the game 4 that just passed 2 days ago, I think this was the best time to make this video because always the argument is who's the best player in the league right now. Is it Kobe? Is it Wade? Is it LeBron? Three great players, three future Hall of Famers. Nobody can deny their talent. And my opinion is they've all had their best. They've all been the best player in the league at one point in time in their careers. Kobe was the best player to me. Kobe was the best player when the Lakers dynasty, when the first one where they had Shaq and Phil and Kobe. Um, that last championship that they won from 2001 to about the 2005, 2006, middle of the 2005, 2006 season, that's when Kobe Bryant was unstoppable. He was the best player in the league, bar none. He didn't win any championships, but he was the best player in the league. Even though he had championships, he's the best player in the league. Couldn't stop him. 81 points against Toronto. In the 2004, 2005 season, he averaged 35.4 points a game, which is nasty. He averaged 30 points a season 3 times that year. During that span. And then comes to Wade. I'd say that February 05, 06 to about probably that playoff year. In about I'd say his the second year he had Shaq. Until that playoff started, he was the best player. He was unstoppable, driving, defending, just scoring, closing, and hitting clutch shots. Dwayne Wade was the greatest player at that time. Right now, the best player in the league is LeBron James. He's been the best player in the league. I'd say about 3 to 5 year span. He's been the best player in the league. I'd say it's really started that year he got to the finals in that game 5. That's when it started. That game 5 in Detroit was the greatest playoff game I've ever seen performance-wise. Scoring 25 of the last points of your team against that great defensive team. He scored 25 points in a row in the fourth quarter and overtime. That's the greatest performance I've ever seen with my eyes physically. And he's been the best player since then. So you got people out of here saying that, oh, well, Kobe has the rings and Wade has a ring. And there's no denying that. Winning the championship is something LeBron James always that's the last thing he wants. He wants to be known as a winner and as a champion. That's what anybody wants that ever wants to play sports. You want to be known as a champion. And you could say, yes, LeBron doesn't have the rings, but you can't say that's the only reason why he's not better. He's not the best player in the league. Kobe Bryant has played with great players, Hall of Fame players. He's played with Shaq. He's played with Karl Malone, even though Karl Malone was on his last legs. Gary Payton, even though Gary Payton was on his last leg. He's playing with probably the second best center in the game today in Andrew Bynum. He's playing with probably the best six man in the league right now in Lamar Odom. He's playing with probably the second best international player in the league in Pau Gasol. He's playing with the best defender, one of the best defenders in NBA history in Ron Artest. He has the best coach in Phil Jackson. He's had the best to surround him and win championships. He's had that. LeBron, even with Wade, Wade's had that. Wade's had coach. He had Pat Riley, a great all-time coach, great executive. He's had Shaq. He's had great players around him to play. He even had Gary Payton too, like Kobe Bryant had. He's had players that's helped him win championships, that know how to win championships. Shaq was still dominant Shaq because it wasn't that Shaq went from the Lakers, then he bounced to another team, then he bounced to another team, he came to the Heat. No, Shaq got traded mid-season from the Lakers to the Heat. And then that season after, he was ready. Shaq was ready. He was ready. Like Shaq was good. Shaq wasn't the Shaq that we saw the last couple years, or yeah, the last couple years with Boston and Cleveland, and his last final days with the Phoenix Suns. So you can't say that. Oh well, LeBron can never be because he doesn't have rings. He doesn't have championships. There's a lot of great players that don't have championships, but you're not gonna knock their pedigree saying that they're not great players. You're not gonna say these guys aren't great players. You're not gonna say Patrick Ewing wasn't a great player. You're not gonna say that Charles Barkley wasn't a great player. You're not gonna say these guys weren't great players because they don't have championships. You can't say that. And I don't understand why people say that now with LeBron James and the Kobe Bryant, because it's LeBron and Kobe. Everybody always discusses it. Even though Dwayne Wade's a great player, it's always LeBron and Kobe. Everybody says it. But my top three, really, it's LeBron, Wade, and then Kobe. But that's another discussion. But LeBron James has never had the talent that Kobe Bryant has ever played with. If you listen to the names I'm about to run off right now that LeBron James has played with, you're going to be like, wow. He's played with Delonte West. He's played with Mo Williams. He's played with Antoine Jameson. He's played with Anderson Varejao. He's played with J.J. Hickson. He's played with Daniel Gibson. He's played with Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He's played with he's played with Wally Szczerbiak. That team he took to the finals in 06 and 07 and they got swept by the Spurs was horrendous. That was a horrible talent. That's probably the worst supporting cast I've ever seen in the finals ever. He had his starters it was LeBron, it was Delonte West, it was Sasha Pavlovich, it was Damon Jones coming off the bench, Larry Hughes, Ben Wallace, Wally Szczerbiak once again. You cannot tell me you cannot win with that. You cannot win the championship. Teams would laugh if you would ever say, oh, what's the team that I'm coming to? Oh, I'm playing with them? Are you serious? He's played with Anthony Parker as well. All those guys are good players in the NBA, good solid role players, but they're not Wade. They're not Lamar Odom. They're not Andrew Bynum. They're not Pau Gasol. They're not Shannon Brown. Shannon Brown is a good player that would be a starter probably on the Cavaliers right now. With all due respect to Anthony Parker, Shannon Brown is a good young player. The best player Shaq has ever that LeBron has ever played with was Shaquille O'Neal last year, until he got to Miami with Bosh and Wade. So you can't win. You cannot win championships. And to the fact that he won 60 games with players like that 3 times in a row is saying a lot. And he had to go up against some teams. He had to go up against the Big Three, Boston. He had to go up against the Orlando Magic team, which I think that this Orlando Magic team and the Maverick team that's right now in the finals is just like that Orlando team, but just a little bit better. But it's amazing how people just discredit LeBron for everything that he's done now, why he's not the best player in the league. That's something I really don't understand. The numbers don't lie. He's averaging 28, 29 points, 26 points, and with those averaging those high amount of points, he's averaging 7 rebounds. He's averaging 7 assists, 8 assists. If you're averaging 8 assists, he's averaging almost average career-wise 3 more assists than Kobe Bryant is. If you take those assists, so that's a max 3 assists. You would say that's the maximum points you could get out of that is 9 points. That's the max you can get out of that, 9 points. So you could say that he can average in between 6 to 9 points more if he didn't pass the ball the way he does. But yet he consistently leads the league sometime, or he's the top 5 in the league in scoring. But you're averaging 7 assists in that same realm. And yes, everybody, once again, you're gonna come with the rings and championships. Yes, Kobe's got those. Kobe's got that. You don't think LeBron would have those rings if he was playing with those type of players? Kobe Bryant, if Kobe Bryant isn't scoring, Kobe Bryant's not helping his team out. Kobe Bryant's not a passer like LeBron. If Kobe Bryant isn't scoring, he's not helping his team, and you saw that with the when he was struck this postseason, when he was struck when they lost 2 games to the Hornets, and when they got swept. Kobe wasn't scoring, the Lakers weren't winning. That's basically. You got to say, when LeBron isn't scoring, LeBron is still helping his team out. He's still trying to get past. He's getting assists, trying to find open men. Kobe doesn't do that. If Kobe's not scoring, you would rarely see Kobe make passes, and maybe that's the reason why LeBron doesn't have rings, because LeBron doesn't take that attitude where, oh, I got to go get me. It's time to let's go. You know, it's time for me to take over this game scoring wise. Because those are the two things you could say about LeBron that LeBron doesn't have. LeBron doesn't have rings, number one, and number two, LeBron is not a pure scorer like Kobe. If I'd say LeBron would be realistically unstoppable if he had a consistent jump shot, and B, which he's starting to do this year, if he could get a post-up game. If he could get a post-up game with his size and strength, he'll be unstoppable. But to say that Kobe Bryant is the better player than LeBron James right now, to me, is really something I really can't agree with you with. And that's all I wanted to say. I think they're all three of them are great players. To me, I still think Wade is a smidge better than Kobe Bryant. But LeBron James right now, by far, is the best player in the league. And also, I wanted to talk about the also thing when Kobe Bryant, and I saw on Twitter, when LeBron James had 8 points, they was like, oh, Kobe would never have that, or Jordan would never have that. Okay, Kobe, everybody forgets that year where Kobe quit twice. Once, he quit. Well, I wouldn't say quit, because quit's a strong word, but he did what LeBron did Game 5 last year against Boston. You remember when Kobe Bryant, when they was playing the Suns in the first round, and he scored 23 points in the first half, and then in the second half, he only took 3 shots. You don't take 3 shots if you got 23 points in the first half. He was trying to send a message when everybody was talking about, oh well, Kobe would have never left his team, or Kobe or Jordan would have never did that. Y'all forgot that Kobe was bad-mouthing Andrew Bynum when the Andrew Bynum-Jason Kidd trade, when everybody talked about, oh, Andrew Bynum for Jason Kidd. Everybody was bashing that. And Kobe was in the parking lot. Everybody remembers that interview. Nobody wants to remember that interview. I remember it. When there was rumors why he was this close to going to Chicago. And it really just like, everybody wants to remember what LeBron James does that's so negative. Make one negative thing and they turn into a big thing. But Kobe Bryant cursing his player out. Oh, if LeBron James was to ever curse out any of one of his players, that was what it was called. It would be big story, league news worldwide. Everybody would hear about it, and everybody would discuss about it. Talk about, oh, how he's such a bad teammate and whatever. And also the other one thing I want to also talk about was the record. Y'all forgot that Kobe Bryant, there was years he did. I don't remember if he did or not, but there was a year when when Phil Jackson retired the first time and came back the following year after, when Kobe had Rudy T, and then Rudy T got fired in the middle of the season, and then they brought in I don't think they made the playoffs that year, but only since his rookie year LeBron hasn't been in the playoffs. And I think he actually was in the playoffs his rookie year. No, he wasn't in the rookie. I don't think he was in the playoffs his rookie year. But ever since not being in the playoffs his rookie year, he's never missed the playoffs. Y'all forgot that Kobe Bryant, I think it was about a couple years ago, when he was playing the Suns and he lost. He went 42-40 one season and 45-30 the other season. 2 seasons back to back where he's had mediocre record. I don't think LeBron has ever had a 40-loss season before.